I've been using computers almost my entire life, and up until recently I have never used a mechanical keyboard. It's not like I'm a victim of circumstance, I just never felt the need for a different type of keyboard was great enough to motivate myself to purchase one. I recently decided to buy a keyboard and wanted to answer the question I've had for a very long time. Does it really make you better at typing? I mean, all the extra money spent on better keyboards must be for a reason, right? I just can't believe people would spend hundreds of dollars on a new keyboard only because it just feels nicer. So because I'm in a special case where I'm barely starting to use a mechanical keyboard, I'm the perfect subject for a test like this. I'm going to do 100 typing tests and record my words per minute, my accuracy, and other things. Bear in mind, I am absolutely terrible at typing. Only recently have I started typing without looking at my keyboard. I was just never told that it would be almost debilitating later in life, and I never saw the need to not stare at my keyboard. I also never learned everything with as the home row. I did 25 races per session, mostly because typing is one of the most frustrating things I've ever attempted. I'll miss the same key about 4 times, and if I had slightly less self-restraint, my fist would be going through my laptop monitor. For the first 25 on both keyboards, I tried my usual way of typing all willy-nilly. Then on the second go through, I tried to use all my fingers using what I now call the method. And here are the results. I know it's a lot, so I'll break it down using some charts and graphs, 3 clicks Phillips style. First, let's look at the method of typing I've developed on my own, or as I like to call it, free typing. This demonstrates why I recorded a lot more information than purely words per minute, because if you look at these two graphs, they're not really very differentiable. Both graphs are pretty similar, and the only conclusion I could draw from this is that when using my own methods, switching from a membrane keyboard to a mechanical one makes me slightly more consistent, seeing as there's a lot less variation in the graph, as well as very slightly faster. Now let's look what I would argue is a more important figure, my accuracy. These are pretty much indistinguishable, not just from a subjective standpoint, but also the fact that both of the averages are exactly the same to the 100th place. That's pretty impressive. Now on to the score. You may be wondering how this score works. To put it simply, it considers all factors including how difficult I felt the quote was to type, my words per minute, and my accuracy. How, you may ask? Well, this is how. Please don't ask me to explain this function. I have so much more I want to do with my life. Now, just with the free typing method, there's not much of a difference. Considering that this function is logarithmic, I can guarantee that the 0.09 difference between the two averages is pretty significant. Considering all factors and using my own methods, the mechanical keyboard gave me a slight edge, but not significant enough of one to convince me to blow a couple $100 on a new and improved keyboard. But that's just my own methods. What if I used a more widely known method of typing? Well, I have your answer right here. From a words per minute standpoint, it's pretty obvious. At only 4 points on this graph, my words per minute on my membrane keyboard is greater than on my mechanical keyboard. The difference of 3 in the average tells the exact same story. So what does this mean? Well, if you suck at typing and really want to improve, start off by practicing, and if you still want to go further, I wouldn't see why not you would want to invest a little cash in a better keyboard. Does this mean you have to? No, of course not. On to my accuracy. I really don't understand how I managed to get the exact same accuracy on both of these tests. It's such a weird way for the stars to align, but I guess they just decided they wanted to, and I can't stop them. The only thing I can say is that after using the ASCII method for about 0.1% of the time, it's already more accurate than my own methods. So please, learn from my mistakes, and at least try to fix bad habits before it's too late. On to the totally not convoluted score system. This is where what I've learned making this video is best shown. That is, if you don't want to change, don't. Stick to your own keyboard, but if you want to change for the better, go ahead and buy one. If I don't try to change my ways, this keyboard is useless, but if I do, it's actually surprisingly helpful. You know how I said in the last scores that the 0.09 difference was significant? Well, if that is, I can guarantee the 0.18 difference in these is very significant. So what does this all mean? Well, for myself, it's that I suck at typing. But for all of you, if you really want a new keyboard keyboard and want to improve at typing, it's worth the risk. But if you're not 100% in it, there's so much more you can do to improve your typing without paying $1. It may be the most frustrating thing you'll ever try, but typing faster in this day and age will always help you, regardless of the situation. So at the very least, you should know that it's very valuable to get somewhere where you're comfortable while typing. And with that, I'll see you all in the next video.